Praise the Lord. All right. Hopefully this will come out right. Just want to thank everyone who's gonna watch this video. So I'm gonna get right straight to the point. Jesus feeds 5,000. Sometimes, sometime after this, Jesus crossed to the far shore of the Sea of Galilee. That is the Sea of Tiberias. And a great crowd of people followed him because they saw signs he had performed by healing the sick. Then Jesus went up on a mountainside and sat down with his disciples. The Jewish Passover festival was near. When Jesus looked up and saw a great crowd coming toward him, he said, "Philip, where shall we buy bread for these people to eat?" He asked this only to test him, for he already had in mind what he was going to do. Philip answered, "It will take more than half a year's wages to buy enough bread for each one to have a bite." Another of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, spoke up. "Here is a boy with five small barley loaves and two small fish. But how far will they go among so many?" Jesus said, "Have the people sit down." There was plenty of grass in that place, and they sat down. About 5,000 men were there. Okay, so I'm going to share something that I read, and I want to share it with you guys. The passage I just finished reading was John 6, 1 through 10. 1 through 10. The Bible is a treasure for lots of reasons, and one of them is that it is very practical. The stories and the precepts are applicable today as they were in the time of Jesus. We have all experienced moments that in our problems, we have all experienced moments in our problems. It feels like there is no solution and we do not know what to do. When that happens, we need to remember that impossible situations are opportunities for the Lord to teach us valuable lessons that we would never learn otherwise. God's supremacy is superior to human resources. When Jesus asks, "Where are we going to buy these to eat?" verse 5, Philip immediately recognized his own inadequacy. Although Christ knew all the time what he was going to do, he was teaching his disciples, as he teaches us nowadays, that the perfect plan and the power to implement it come only from God, not from solutions and human resources. Although Jesus could have created with his single word, although Jesus could have created with his single word, he chose to use people to achieve his purpose. Andrew went looking for food. Some a boy gave him his lunch, and the disciples organized the crowd and distributed the food that Jesus gave them. Every step required: one, trust; number two, obedience, especially since Jesus' method seems so illogical. God knows how to solve our problems, but he can choose to demand our cooperation, even asking us to do something that does not seem reasonable. Every time we take a step of obedience, let me repeat that again. Every time we take a step of obedience, the Lord does a great the Lord does great things in us and through us. I hope you enjoy this. It's not that long. Um, Thank you again. The background is different. That's because we moved, and this place is nice. This place is nice. God brought us over here for a purpose. Um, don't know if it's for a season or for a long time, but He brought us here for a purpose. Thank you, and leave a comment, please, especially if you can hear everything clearly. God bless. Praise the Lord. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on the time that you're watching. God bless.